Hi everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes to explain Assignment 3 and Discussion 3 in detail and explain what I'm expecting of you all for these assignments. So you should have read Chapter 2 on response to intervention and all the definition, how it works, all the different tiers, how a student will move from tier to tier, progress monitoring, and the whole bit. So what I want you to do for assignment 3 is to create a PowerPoint for teachers. So you may notice that some teachers who are supposed to be implementing response to intervention and RTI don't exactly know what it is. So I want you to create a PowerPoint that is an informative PowerPoint presentation for teachers explaining the ins and outs of RTI based on the content that you've read in Chapter 2. So I want you to create a PowerPoint. I want you to first answer, what is RTI? What's the process? You could go into detail with this if you'd like, but definitely explain what RTI is. Then I want you to explain, what does each tier require? There's Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. What do these require? What are the practices within each tier? And then you're going to move on to, what is the purpose of RTI? Now, your book talks a lot about why RTI came about and what the background is behind RTI. So explain what the purpose is. We're all using it now, and why are we using it? What's the main purpose? Next, you're going to provide examples of activities that you can include in each tier. So there's 3 tiers, and you will explain in Tier 1, I could do these activities and what the purpose of it would be. Make sure that you are drawing connections between what the tier is supposed to do and the activities. And lastly, how do you document and monitor progress? So RTI is all about assessing through various means and then providing interventions based on those assessment results. So we're going to be monitoring progress throughout the whole RTI process. How do you document this monitoring, and how do you monitor progress? What are you doing? How are you making sure that these students are indeed moving through the RTI process or moving back? And how do you document and monitor their responses to the various interventions that you're providing? I want you to submit the PowerPoint presentation through the assignment Dropbox. And if you have any questions about this assignment, then please do contact me. Next, for your discussion, you're going to discuss eligibility practices in special ed. So I want you to first think of different eligibility practices for special ed. These might include RTI, it might include various eligibility practices that were used prior. Your chapter will talk about how we find students eligible. Then, explain your opinion of the identification, assessment, and eligibility process. Now, this is the whole process. First, we find students that have potential issues. We use screeners to find these students. Then we identify them. Then we use more comprehensive assessments, and we determine if they are eligible for special ed schooling or separate classrooms. So when you are explaining, you're going to continue by explaining the strengths and weaknesses of this process. What is your opinion on the eligibility process, and what are the strengths and weaknesses? Then you're going to respond to at least one peer using the ladder of feedback. So again, I'm always available for questions or concerns, so please do contact me because the RTI process is a little bit difficult to understand. So if you need some extra explanation, I can certainly make a video explaining certain concepts that are difficult for you all. Good luck!